Hinata sighs despondently. She had trained her Byakugan over the last 2 months in order to better fulfill her role as the team tracker, yet it seems she was still suffering from problems. I mean, sure, her Byakugan could now see over a kilometer away, but now it seemed her eyes were straight up hallucinating. Because surely, that was the only explanation for why she just saw Team 10 rocketing through the air like that. So Hinata, do you see anyone nearby? Shikamaru asks. Hinata nods. A group of ninja from the Hidden Rain. They have these strange face masks on. I see, Shikamaru says. So how do you want to play this? Sasuke asks of Shikamaru. After Wave, Sasuke had started to recognize Shikamaru's talents and accepted him as a team leader, despite Shikamaru still being unquestionably weaker than him. Shikamaru leans against the tree, looking thoughtful. Are they heading in our direction? Hinata nods. They are approaching slowly and quietly. Then I'd like to bait out an attack if we can. That means we need to be seen making a mistake without actually making one. So let's hear it, Sasuke says. Shikamaru smiles. We are going to break the first rule of survival and split the party. However, Shikamaru pulls out 3 small radio pieces. We'll in actuality be in contact with each other the whole time. Small note. I have no idea why wireless communication technology wasn't utilized more often in the show. We see Team Guy use it during the Gaara rescue mission in Shippuden, and we even see Team 7 using it during a freaking D-rank mission. To be fair, the Genin didn't actually know what the second task would entail, but this still seemed like something they should have handy. Shikamaru didn't bring these in canon, but I'm going to say that since Shikamaru has already had his first encounter with how badly things can go wrong in Wave, he is a little more prepared this time. Now back to the story. What do you imagine they'll do if they saw you walking away to take a piss or something? Shikamaru asks of Sasuke. First of all, they would all probably laugh themselves silly at our idiocy. All 3 of them could try to jump me when I'm alone, Sasuke says, and he didn't seem at all opposed to this scenario. Or they could jump the 2 of you in a 2 versus 3 battle, or they might try and impersonate someone and pull a fast one. I'm sure that the 2 of us could hold off 3 enemies long enough for you to arrive, Shikamaru says. And you should also have no problem holding off 3 enemies until we back you up. Heck, even in a 3 versus 1, you'd still likely do better than Hinata and me. Sasuke smirks at the compliment and Hinata smiles at this exchange. It was nice to see her 2 teammates getting along and recognize each other's talents. The last 2 months with her team Hinata saw as the best time of her life since her mother died, and she hoped it would continue. Wave, however badly it had nearly ended, had brought all 3 of them closer together. She now looked forward every morning to meeting her team, whether it was for training or some small D-rank mission. And she always dreaded it when it was time to return home to her family. She knew she shouldn't think so negatively of her own home, but she couldn't help but compare the easy camaraderie and supportive atmosphere of Team 7 with the cold, dismissive and sometimes even outright disdainful attitude she experienced with the Hyuga. They are splitting up. Only one is approaching. The rest are keeping a safe distance, Hinata says. You'd think he's dumb enough to try anything without backup? Sasuke says, sounding disappointed in their opponent's lack of sense. We'll see, won't we? Shikamaru says with a pointed look at Sasuke. Sasuke rolls his eyes. Oh no, I really need to take a piss. Let me go off on my own for a while. Hinata thought they were lucky that the enemy ninja was still too far away to hear Sasuke. That performance would have fooled no one. Sasuke left and soon a fake Sasuke showed up. Sorry to keep you waiting, guys, fake Sasuke says. Shikamaru doesn't waste time talking to the imposter and immediately puts him under the shadow possession, and Hinata then disables him with a gentle fist. I guess it's our luck you're not from our village. Shikamaru grins at the now revealed Rain Ninja. Any ninja from Konoha would know better than to try and pull something like that with a Hyuga on the opposing team. He doesn't have a scroll though, Hinata says after a quick scan with her eyes. I guess even their stupidity has limits, Shikamaru says. The Rain Ninja just glares silently. After the real Sasuke shows up, they inform him that they still don't have the needed scroll. It's not the Anvo, Shikamaru says. According to the rules, his team, and emotions towards the Rain Ninja, will have to come for him. Any team that loses a member will automatically be disqualified. Do we have to wait for them to come to us though? Sasuke says. If they are anything like him, how difficult will it be? Sasuke gets an idea and smiles. Transformation Jutsu. And then he looks exactly like the Rain Ninja. Shikamaru laughs at this. So, can you still see them, Hinata? She nods. They are waiting for their teammate to return, as she points them in the right direction. Disguised Sasuke nods and leaves. We should be smarter than them and follow at a safe distance in case something goes wrong, Shikamaru says, and they do exactly that. By the time they catch up to Sasuke, he has already dispatched the 2 remaining Rain Ninja, and Sasuke is carrying a Heaven Scroll. I guess it would be too easy if they just have an Earth Scroll, Shikamaru sighs. They left the Rain Ninja tied up. So now they had 2 Heaven Scrolls. They quickly decided that Sasuke and Hinata should each hold on to one of them. Hinata had at first protested, saying that it was safer if Shikamaru carried one instead of her, but they'd hear none of that. Guys? Hinata says and points. There is another lone ninja heading in our direction. She seems to know we are here, but she is just kind of strolling towards us. Not even trying to hide this time? Confidence or arrogance? Sasuke wonders out loud. Which village? Shikamaru asks, wondering if they might be from Konoha and knew it was useless to try and sneak up on them. Grass, Hinata answers, and something seems strange about our chakra network. I can't really explain it. After a while, Hinata was also able to confirm that she had a scroll on her. Good. Another idiot that thinks a bunch of rookies are easy pickings, Shikamaru says, and he smiles broadly. Sasuke chuckles in agreement. Then, something changes in the atmosphere. It was impossible to describe except by the effect it had on them. Sasuke's small laugh seemed to go on for just a little too long to be natural, and at the end it held a sort of nervous quality. And Shikamaru's smile became strained. What is this feeling? Hinata thinks frantically. She looks at her hand and finds it shaking. Beads of sweat started to collect on all their foreheads. Hinata briefly disrupts her own chakra flow, just in case they were under a genjutsu, but that did nothing. Hinata again focuses her vision on the grass ninja, and without any kind of obvious rational reason, suddenly knows, with the same kind of certainty that she knows the sun will rise tomorrow, that if this ninja reaches them, they were all going to die horribly. We run, Shikamaru says, and not even Sasuke objects to this sudden change of plans. They traveled through the trees in a direction so that if the grass ninja would keep traveling in her current direction, she would pass them by. Considering the slow pace she was setting for herself, Team 7 soon left her behind and she disappeared out of range of Hinata's Byakugan. What was that? Sasuke asks, when they felt they had put enough distance between them and it. I don't know, Shikamaru says. I don't understand it myself, but you all felt that, right? We need to get an Earth Scroll and get to the tower and out of this damn forest as soon as possible. In fact, I say we go to the tower right now and wait for the other teams to come to us. Another reason why Shikamaru wanted to go to the tower was that was surely the place where the team density was the thickest throughout the whole forest. Somehow, Shikamaru knew that whatever they had just fled from was the enemy of all normal, right-thinking genin in the forest. So in some strange way, being close to the other enemy teams felt safer. Hinata startled suddenly. She's back, just over a kilometer south of where we just came from. You said she was walking slowly, Shikamaru yells at her. She was! She shouldn't already be here, but... Hinata pays a little closer attention. She seems to be walking a little faster now. Again, Team 7 ran. A lot further this time, and they made an effort to hide any tracks they were leaving behind. This included a small river where they tried to disrupt their scent trail, just in case that was what the grass ninja was using to find them. That should do it, Shikamaru says. They were all breathing heavily. They were given about a minute before Hinata again saw the grass ninja, and again she seemed to be moving a little faster. "We make for the edge of the forest," Shikamaru says. "But won't we be disqualified if we leave?" Sasuke asked. "Yes," Shikamaru says, and that Sasuke didn't argue the plan further was telling. They set out, but after a few minutes, Hinata called out, "Stop!" "What is it?" "She's in front of us now." "But you just said she was to our east," Shikamaru says. "I did." "We're being toyed with," Sasuke says. "Maybe we should split up and..." No, that's not a good idea. Any idea, Shikamaru?" "Why didn't they give us some way to signal for help if we were in trouble?" Shikamaru says. "It's like they want us to die in here." "But do you have any ideas?" Sasuke repeats. Shikamaru was silent for what felt like a long time. They couldn't get away. For some reason they all understood they couldn't fight. Hiding also seemed impossible. "Maybe we can negotiate," Shikamaru eventually offers. "We do have a spare scroll to give away." While that was true, every instinct Hinata had was instructing her to run away, futile though she knew that would be. "I'm scared." Too scared to even think clearly, she began to slowly shuffle away from the clearing, on her own. "Hey!" Sasuke grabbed her before she could make a break for it. "I know how you feel, but we're in this together. Whatever fate awaits us, we will face it together." "I'm sorry," she said. And from then on, she managed to control herself enough to stay put, though she did turn off her Byakugan briefly. Seeing that thing approaching was too much, and well, for just a brief time, out of sight, just a little bit out of mind. And besides, if it wanted them dead, no special eyes would make a difference. Within a short minute, the object of their fear casually walked into view. "Ah, so you have finally decided to stop running away, have you? Most prey continue to resist for much longer. Maybe I should be disappointed." "What do you want?" Shikamaru asked. The grass ninja laughed and continued to slowly walk towards them. Again, Hinata had to fight the urge to bolt. "Why, this is a competition, isn't it?" She spread her hands as if she was the centerpiece of a theater and produced her scroll. "Don't you want to fight me for this Earth Scroll?" "No," Shikamaru said, and Sasuke tossed his Heaven Scroll towards the grass ninja who caught it. "You have what you want, now leave us in peace." "Just one more thing, my dear. As I see it, the fewer competitors there are left, the better my chances will be in the future." And now the grass ninja was standing right in front of her. "So I'll just be taking this." Hinata was too paralyzed with fear to stop the grass ninja from grabbing her arm. The enemy ninja then began to walk away, dragging a stumbling Hinata behind her. Both Sasuke and Shikamaru had been frozen as well, which prevented them from reacting, but seeing Hinata being dragged away was too much. "Give her back right now!" Sasuke yelled. "I think not. In order to make sure you're out of this competition, I'll need to make sure that at least one of you is removed from the team." The grass ninja pulled down the sleeves of Hinata's arm and inspected her flesh. "She admittedly doesn't have a lot of meat on her bones, but she'll still make a delicious dessert for one of my pets." Orochimaru looked at Sasuke and took note of his horrified face. He laughed internally. When dealing with a team of 2 boys and 1 girl, always go after the girl to inflict the maximum amount of emotional distress. You two don't need to worry though. After all, when the predator's belly is full, the other prey get to live. That was a lie. If even this wasn't enough to push Sasuke into action, he just killed them all and take Sasuke's Sharingan eyes without him. To have the eye without the body would be far from ideal, but he had no use for weaklings. "We'll abandon the competition!" Shikamaru tried desperately. "This isn't necessary!" "I'm afraid I can't trust you at your word." And he continued to drag Hinata away. "Now come along, little snack." Hinata's mind was still too paralyzed by fear to put up any better resistance than to try and dig in her heels, which did nothing to slow Orochimaru. "No! Let her go!" Sasuke growled out. The 2-in-1 Tomoe in his Sharingan eye were spinning rapidly. Orochimaru paused his step and pretended to think about it. "No. Aw, don't be foolish, child. With this you get to survive and continue your pathetic life. Now run along now, Orochimaru said, making a dismissive shooing motion.
Foolish little brother, you can't kill me. Your hate's not strong enough. You're not strong enough. Your life is too precious to you. So run. That's right. Run away. And live. Live with the shame.
I said no! Sasuke's eyes stopped spinning and settled on Totemoe in both eyes before he jumped at Orochimaru. Finally! Orochimaru fought gleefully as he let go of Hinata to see what his baby Uchiha was made of. As if Orochimaru's grip was the only thing keeping her upright, Hinata's legs folded and she dropped on the ground. After a few seconds, she saw Shikamaru slowly moving towards her. He didn't seem capable of looking her in the eye. Hinata, I'm sorry, And then Shikamaru, the guy who claimed to always come up with some kind of plan, said, I had no idea what I was supposed to do. To Hinata, more shocking than the words, were the tears she could see rolling down his face. Up above the trees, she could hear the sounds of battle. He is fighting a hopeless battle because of... for me. I have to do something. Haku's words came back to her. For someone else's sake, she activated her Byakugan. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was a very happy little psychopath. Only 2 Tomoes and Sasuke's Sharingan already seemed capable of following his movements. Such potential! He was nearly drooling at the prospect. After Orochimaru allowed Sasuke to demonstrate his proficiency with Ninja Wire and Fire Release, Orochimaru made his introductions and bestowed a curse mark on him. Sasuke collapsed and started writhing in pain. He'll thank me for this gift later, Orochimaru said, but then he noticed the little Kunoichi from before coming at him from behind. You monster! She screamed and started attacking him with reckless abandon. Orochimaru humored her for a little while. After Sasuke's display earlier, this wasn't anything too impressive, but still. This was supposed to be the elder of the Hyuga main branch sisters? The one they all claimed had no value? She was no Sasuke, true, but what she showed now was still remarkable for her age. For a brief instant, Orochimaru's body froze up. The Nara boy's shadow possession, he realized. He was strong enough to break free within a second, but a second was all the Hyuga needed to land several gentle fist strikes. Luckily for him, she wasn't yet at the level where she could shut down his chakra points. His internal organs suffered some damage, but he could fix that easily with his body replacement technique. He sent a couple of snakes to tie up the Hyuga girl and leave her dangling in the air in front of him. No matter what your clan may claim, the Byakugan is a poor thing when compared to the might of the Sharingan. But still, I admit, there may be a glimmer of potential in you. He eyed Hinata's body up and down and stroked her face in a cruel parody of a gentle caress. Hinata shivered and felt violated. I didn't come for you, but you're a delightful little surprise. Hinata could do nothing as Orochimaru's neck elongated to bite at her neck. The snakes dropped her and she desperately clutched at her neck in a useless attempt to stop the pain. Eventually the pain became too much and her brain fled into unconsciousness. Hinata was in a dream that was just a little more than a dream, looking upon herself as a very small child. She was crying, as Hinata knew she often did at that age. Why? Why don't they love me? Voices sounded all around her. She is too kind. She can't protect the Hyuga clan. What did I ever do to deserve this? Child Hinata cried. The Hyuga have no use for such an heir. I never even wanted to be clan head anyway, Child Hinata cried, and she balled her fists. Even her little sister, 5 years her junior, has inherited the strength of the Hyuga clan more than her. I could have beaten her if I really tried, Child Hinata cried. It's not fair! Let her go on missions. If she dies with dignity, that leaves the way open for Hanabi to inherit, without the need to acknowledge that such a weak girl was ever born into our clan. They'll always hate us, no matter what we do. Our clan is the strongest in all of Konoha. Such weakness is inexcusable. What's so great about our clan anyway? It's not fair! It's not fair! It's not fair! It's not fair! Hinata jerked awake, feeling stronger than she had ever had before and filled with a strange sense of invincibility. She looked down at her arms and found strange markings covering her. What's happening to me? She now registered the emotions she was feeling, the sense of power, the desire to find that which hurt her and remove it from the world, as something that was wholly alien to her. She's awake! It took a while for Hinata to recognize the speaker as Ino. And she has the same markings as Sasuke did! What's going on? Hinata stood up. Ino and Choji backed away from her as if afraid she might suddenly attack them. Nothing is going on. We're safe, Ino said, making calming motions with her hands. There were these ninja from the Sound Village, but Sasuke took care of them. You're among friends. Hinata took several calming breaths, and slowly the markings receded from her body. Ino and Choji both breathed a sigh of relief. She stepped outside and saw not only Sasuke and Shikamaru. Thank Kami they are alright. But also Shino, Tenten and Rock Lee. But if they are here then... She looked further, and sure enough, she saw Neji looking down at her from a tree branch with his usual hostility. And for the first time, Hinata did not feel the need to avert her gaze from him. In fact, she had to resist the urge to glare back. And that's where we're going to leave things for now. Please join me next time for part 17 with the Chunin preliminary matches. Nikes out.